card surpasses over a 90% usage rate, you would think that there might be some consideration to, remove it from the game. Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. What we're going to be looking at over here is Master Duel data actually from a day or so ago. You are going to be seeing that Max C has a 91.1% usage rate in Master Duel. Now, excuse me here, but at what point does a card, you take a look at and you go, wow, this is included in every single deck? At what point do we go, maybe we have an issue here. Maybe if every deck is including this, maybe it is time that we check this. Now remember, Master Duel is its own unique metagame, and it is based off of the dreaded 1 out of 1 scenario. I'm assuming, after the last shareholder meeting, that, the OCG kind of got torn apart a little bit, that we might start to see maybe a shift in the meta that might, promote a 2 out of 3 scenario. I don't know at this stage, but I'm just here to tell you that we're almost at 100% usage rate. You are 9% away from having one of the most broken numbers in all of Duel Monsters. I think it's crazy to me that when you look at representation for something like this and you see that, this card has exceeded such crazy levels and is such a mandatory staple in the meta, that maybe they would take some sort of consideration for it. But that's what we're looking at. Now, Ash Blossom kind of follows it up here with the 85.1% usage. And to be fair, Ash is kind of, at least in paper Yu-Gi-Oh!, real Yu-Gi-Oh!, its representation is, it's here. Most decks play it, but Ash has been a little bit, its impact has continued to drop throughout a lot more of the meta. And I think that's also kind of really saying something too, is Ash was once an extremely high impact card. It would end turns, it would make people look at you in disgust, but it has long since kind of just declined in terms of its high impact value. So while representation is still high, Ash is nowhere near what it once was. Now, the next closest card that you actually see here is Called by the Grave at a 56.7% usage rate. Now, you're telling me that we go basically 92%, 86%, and the next closest is basically a 30% drop. Yeah, it is actually. To be honest with you, the only real reason people are playing Called by the Grave, besides, it's a quick play and you can shut off something like one of those angry little tier monsters along the way. It is pretty good at negating things, and causing the lingering negation effect on the opponent is pretty good. And also, stopping Max C from resolving is going to be good. Two of these cards, between Crossout and this, they are cards that are designed to stop Max C. Yeah, 92%, by the way. Divine Zeus coming in at number 4. So one of the biggest things about the game when you're looking at modern era Yu-Gi-Oh! Is you've got to consider extra deck resources are much different than main deck resources, because essentially at any time the conditions are met for the extra deck out, which means you didn't really have to do anything special to get to it. And Zeus is one of those cards that essentially any monsters that can, form and exceed also inadvertently access Zeus at the end of the day. Yeah, Zeus is at a 55% usage rate, to be honest with you, but I'm not that surprised at the end of the day. Zeus has just kind of turned into one of those cards it's an old reliable board breaker. Its entire purpose is to clean up fields and to make use of whatever worthless exceed that you were kind of stuck with at the end of your combo. So should Zeus go beyond limited to 1? No, I think it's fine where it is. Now you're going to notice up here that we have two of our Bysteel friends, Druis Worm at a 53.4% usage rate, and Magna Hut at a 52.9% usage rate. You know why we have to play these cards? Because Tier Elements Purgatory is running around. That's why they're hand traps. They have to see play, because these cards have to exist in order to stop the crazy levels of hate that are being present in the meta. Now, with the release of, the Doomsday button, all hail the crazy cashed era monsters, you probably are going to see a dial back on buy-steal power in the format. That's just how it is. Alright, especially, when the walking, talking macrocosmo guy coming out soon, Mr. Riceheart here, touches down, you will see a dial back on buy-steals, because the value that the buy-steals actually get the chance to make will not be anywhere near as devastating. So while these two do have a high usage rate at this particular time, once you see, the impact of Cashed Hero do its thing, these will knock down a little bit. But let's be perfectly clear here. Searching for literally any dragon in your entire deck, which can get you another buy steal, and Drewsworm getting the ability to spot removal a special summoned monster, there's a reason why these two are incredibly broken at the end of the day. Imperm with a 52.5% usage rate here. Now, once again, I'm not surprised about this either. You have a card that is a hand trap negate that is aimed to slow down the opponent so that they can't actually do anything. And I mean, to be fair, this card is, even in paper right now, who's what feels like, half a year, a full year ahead of the current game. Imperm is a crazy card. It does its job. Now, Sprite Elf down here at a 42.2% usage rate of all decks in the game. This card's banned in paper for a reason. There's a reason why we look at this card and we're like, I can't believe they let Sprite Elf stick around, because this card is nuts. Alright, the fact that you can do it passively between both players' turns, it is one of the most unfun cards in the game. But also keep in mind, Master Duel still does have Predaplant, good old fun friend allowed still. The pay 2,000, laugh at your opponent. I still can't believe that at the end of the day, but its impact isn't as great over there, and I think that's what they're trying to do. Is they're like, if we leave Sprite Elf legal, we can justify it at least in one game, but it's so generic on the revive. Like, it needs to be banned in all the platforms, and we just need to kind of chalk this card up into Bannable. Now, we also have Baron DeFleur down here with a 41.7% usage rate. I feel like every end board in the TCG right now, Baron's almost kind of, I'm not going to say like laughably bannable, but when you look at Baron, you're like, yep, anytime a level 10 is going to come up, you're probably going to have Baron DeFleur directly afterwards, because it's all part of the hee I got to negate, hee I can tag into something from the graveyard during the next turn. Like, if you're playing something like Virtual Ward and tag out to Archulor Christie after a Beatrice dumps it, like, who thinks about that? Alright, those are some of the dumb things that you can do with Baron DeFleur at the end of the day. I'm not surprised. Any deck that, once again, Sword Soul being a huge culprit of this tier, getting anything on the field, an Ash Blossom plus a Fenrir gets you into Baron. I'm not surprised for the high impact of this. And then we have Crossout at a 40.1% usage rate, kind of bringing up the back end of things here. But once again, Crossout and Called By are both cards that aim to stop Max C, and you have high usage rates of these cards because you have these giant culprits in the room that are turning into big issues. That's why you're seeing these cards in the meta. Obviously, besides good generic cards, but to answer the question, I still think Max C is a terribly designed card. I think there should be an alternative present to it, maybe like a draw up to thrice per turn, for an example. That would be a pretty good alternative, but the logic of it is, at this stage, it's just Maxi's become such an iconic card in the OCG. It does allow literally anything to have the chance to get the chance to kind of balance back into the game and play. And when you kind of think about that balancing factor of the back and forth at the end of the day, it is one big thing just to go, wow, if I can truly play anything and sack a Maxi to win the game, then is it really worth it? And for players, I guess it is. It's such a no-skill card at the end of the day. That's why I do like the TCG at the end of, everything. But I don't know, man. I've been watching these card statistics for a little while now, just out of curiosity to see how things are doing. And it amazes me just to see how things are doing in terms of numbers. So what do you think? Please, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. And, this is pretty disgusting. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.